forever falling snow. And the dreamer wept, and so she quickly dreamed a dream of spring, how you and I are blossoming. Now, I don't know if E. Cummings knew anything about Imbolc, but he perfectly captured the essence of the holiday in that piece of poetry. Hi, I'm Catherine Reeder. Welcome to the Modern Pagan. And I'm here today to talk to you about the modern pagan first day of spring, Imbolc, which is actually the modern pagan first day to start thinking about spring. And traditionally it's celebrated from the eve of February the 1st to the eve of February the 2nd. But don't let that fool you. It can be celebrated throughout the month of February. One of my favorite things about Imbolc is that it's a really low-key celebration after the hubbub of the holidays. January is a time for rest, but by the time February 1st rolls around, I am ready to think about spring. One of the main themes of Imbolc is purification. Purification in your mind, body, and spirit. Purification of the mind, to me, just means letting go of all those dark thoughts that you have about yourself and other people. Letting those things go, setting them down, and walking away is a relief that can't be expressed in words. It really just can only be felt. Purification of the body. By purification of the body, I mean clean your house. And of course, I mean do your dishes, sweep your floor. But I also mean pull everything out of your kitchen cabinets. Pull everything out of your closets. Go through your house with a fine-tooth comb and start a donation pile. Getting rid of things that you no longer use can also be such a refreshing way to start your year. After you have thoroughly cleaned your house, because housework is dirty business, clean your body. There's nothing so refreshing as having a shower. Well, the only thing more refreshing than a shower is a hot bath. I have found so many lovely milk bath recipes on Pinterest. Look around and see if you can find one that suits you. When I think about purification of the spirit, I think about the intentions you have for the year. Now, just because an old intention is old doesn't mean that it has to be shuffled to the wayside. And just because a new intention is new doesn't mean that it has to be held on to doggedly. Don't be afraid to go through all your intentions and decide whether they still suit you. Now, the purification aspect of Imbolc really does seem like work, but there are so many ways to celebrate after you've done all the heavy lifting. One of my favorite ways to celebrate Imbolc is to go for a spring walk and look for signs of spring, because they are out there. I noticed the other day that the daffodils in our front yard are starting to come up just this much, and that the apple tree and the dogwood tree are starting to get their first blossoms. You'll also notice that the days are getting longer, that the sun rises earlier and sets later, and those extra 10 minutes of daylight have done so much to brighten my mood. Another way to celebrate is candles. All of the festivals on the wheel of the year are considered bonfire holidays. But during Imbolc, the weather can be too cold to really get out and enjoy a fire. So you have to bring the fire inside, and that means candles. All the candles. You can see here that I have some burning, and you can decide whatever color that you would like that suits your idea of Imbolc. What I generally use is white, meaning purification, and red, to signify the warmth of the sun returning. But you can choose whatever colors you would like. The final way to celebrate Imbolc is to do some planning for the spring. If you have a garden, begin to decide what seeds you'd like to plant, Or if you have outdoor projects that you want to accomplish, start planning for those as well. I have so many things that I need to do outside this spring, and the beginning of February is when I really start to think about how I'm going to accomplish them. And it gives me such satisfaction to know that by the end of the summer, hopefully, all my projects will be done. Now, my favorite way of celebrating any festival on the Wheel of the Year is the feast, and Imbolc is no exception. Now, the first kind of food that I think suits the holiday more than anything is hearty soups or stews. There's nothing that says warmth and hearty like a wonderful, filling stew. And you can use whatever you happen to have in your cupboards, because traditionally that's what people would have used. Whatever they had left over from their harvest in the fall, in the middle of winter. Another food that says Imbolc is dairy. Now, one of the things that in a rural agrarian society that Imbolc would have celebrated was the ewes are just beginning to lamb at the 1st of February. So the supply of milk would be in abundance. Certainly, the modern pagan doesn't have much access to sheep's milk, but all of the dairy that you find in your grocery store will do just fine. So butter, milk, cheese, all of those foods are an excellent thing to celebrate with at Imbolc. And for the lactose intolerant, don't be afraid to bring in cashew cheese or almond milk. This is your festival. You eat the foods that make you happy. Another food that's always welcome at every turn of the Wheel of the Year is bread. Now, it can be a fancy sourdough rustic loaf, or it can be a good old pone of cornbread. Whatever you decide to use will make your feast complete. This year, for our Imbolc feast, for an appetizer, we're going to make a baked brie, and then for the entree, we're going to make a pork, sweet potato, and parsnip stew with a good old pone of cornbread. And for dessert, we're going to go very simple and have vanilla ice cream with honey sweetened fruit. And I am so excited for our Imbolc feast. I'm also excited because this video on Imbolc is kicking off my channel. It's kicking off the Modern Pagan channel. So hit that subscribe button because I'll be coming back to you in February to show you exactly how I like to celebrate Imbolc. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.